Oh, yes.
Yo,
I
what's
forgot
up?
I had. What's up? Forgot I had that cool profile picture on there.
That is pretty sweet.
Uh,
Let me kick my dog out of here.
Oh, start video. Oh, there we go.
Boom. What's up?
Hello.
Hey, I didn't realize that this was going to be video recorded until I started doing research on the podcast and I found the videos. So I usually don't show my face on these things.
Oh, well, so far you're the most beautiful guest that we've had. So.
Oh, hey, look at all, like, I have the worst facial hair, though. So
I don't know. Mine's pretty bad.
Mine looks like I've just stuck pubes to my face.
I think that's what facial hair is. Oh, man, we're gonna go outside. Oh,
Man, it's like sunny there.
yeah. Where are you guys at?
It's 9:30 where we are.
We're in hell.
I did the last one of the video things on from my hot tub, but my hot tub's not currently plugged in right now. So
We should do that one day. We could all come over and get in my hot tub. You can be in your hot tub.
Yeah.
And then we could hot tub podcast.
it's right there. It's defunct, and I've got a giant construction project back here.
Yes, you do. Big deck.
Yeah, we're stripping the old one.
Awesome.
Let me ask again. Have you got a big deck?
Ow.
Let's be clear.
Okay. I feel like I should have grabbed another beer if we're gonna go in this.
So, yeah, basically, if you've watched any of the podcasts, even if you haven't, we just kind of jump right into it. We don't like the formalities.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, everybody's going to know, if they don't already, who you are, what's up, and what you're all about.
Cool.
But there's a few things I do want to talk about. I don't want to jump right into it, but we need to get some hoopty cross on the East Coast.
Yes. Wait, are we recording now?
It is recording, yeah.
Oh, well, no, but is this part of the podcast? Are we laying a framework for how the rest of it goes?
No. So, like, the beauty of our podcast, I believe, is you don't know where it starts and you don't know where it ends.
Oh, yeah. No, I do that. I start my podcast. Well, me and my buddies will just be hanging out. I record mine with my phone because I'm the consummate professional. And then, yeah, I'll just start it while we're talking. And then I hope nobody says anything terrible because I don't edit mine at all. That's also probably why nobody listens to mine.
We've all been well behaved recently, and we try not to get too offensive.
Hooptie cross. So let's get back to your question. Why no hooptie cross? Well, because hooptie cross is a funny thing. Like, there's a lot of rules and pitfalls in sanctioned racing, and so with Gambler, we've just been all very free for all. Like, this is just fun, cool punk rock shit. Like, everybody should be doing it. As long as you abide by like the basic 3 tenets. The cheap car spirit's there, but if you come out in your Audi A4, which may be nicer than my Corolla, albeit a lot of Corollas are still faster than Audis on our tracks. We have a handicap that will come into play, or you may get bumped into like the hater class arena. So,
right.
We will get there. And I think we're going to be in Indiana here pretty soon. So that's kind of east.
Oh, that's
coast.
close. That's way close to us.
Yeah. So we've got a little bit about my partner in Hooptie Cross, Chuck Brazier, who is the mastermind and builds all of our tracks, and I'm very much the free flow, just, hey man, just go do it sort of guy. And he's very much detail oriented and runs a masterful event. And I'm just kind of the I don't know.
Do you know when it is? I tried to do a little research before we jumped on, which is rare for me. But so do you know when that one in Indiana is?
Fuck, you reminded me I was supposed to change the date on the website. So it's hooptiecross.com, but Chuck just told me today I got the date wrong on there. So We'll go to Hooptie X Facebook. We'll go to events. He's probably got it right. He runs the Facebook. Yes, Southern Indiana is Friday, October 30th.
That's doable.
And then we're in Texas on November 14th. And then we may be taking a hiatus to March, but March we're going to be at the Mint 400. We're going to be racing on the infield at the Mint in Vegas.
Awesome.
That'll be cool.
That's going to be fun. When did you say March?
Yep, I think so.
Awesome. So what? We're building at least one gambler car right now, and our goal, me and maybe one or two of us, is to get out to the OG gambler this next year. We had planned on going this past year, but we figured this wasn't the year to be going.
It was a weird year. It was a glorious year, but it was definitely a weird year.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a cheater. It's definitely a cheater car, but it's got to make it 4,000 miles. And
does it have a top?
Stuff.
A lot of your cars don't have tops.
This one I've added top to it. I can't really spill the beans more than that until I, show everybody.
Oh, we're big fans of chop top over here. So.
Oh man, we got to get you, Jason. We just did a chop top. I just got back from one. We did 1,600 miles in 3.5 days.
Yeah.
No roof, no windshield.
Oh yeah, I've got a choppy. I've got a F-250 up there with no top on it.
Awesome.
That's why, like, the windshield cut off, no A pillars. It's all no windshield. It's a choppy for sure. It's
Have
just
you
got
seen
40
ready.
Jason just made a couple announcements on the next ones coming up.
Yeah.
Denver and Maine.
Jason's been here. Jason had drinks here at my house once.
Yeah, I heard him on the podcast.
Oh yeah. That was funny. We had wings. Oh, sun meeting.
And you can tell
I was trying to place your accent, and it is Kentucky. It is Kentucky.
his accent is Kentucky. Mine is definitely not
Paul's is
Kentucky.
definitely Kentucky.
Oh, is that? I don't fucking know.
I cheat. I'm from England.
You think that dumb in Oregon? I know. I was making a joke.
No, I think Grant is, and he'll get confused and edit it out.
No
edits. I would just like to point out, I didn't know what car you were talking about when you said you got a gambler-ready car, and then I figured it out, and you're a lunatic.
Only when I said I added more roof to it.
Yeah, you are a lunatic.
You're going to drive it all? You're going to gamble out here?
Yeah.
That's
a Crown Vic. What's a Crown Vic on 31s?
Oh, well, yeah. Hell yeah.
It'll make it.
I'll make it.
But yeah, me and Jason have been talking about it for at least a year. So it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's silly. This year was a weird year. It wasn't the year for newbies, just because we did it more old school. Like, it was just clandestine, separated, dispersed camping. The ironic part is that we had half the amount of people, but we collected twice as much trash. So we did 500 cubic yards of trash this year, which is a mountain of trash. Yeah. So it was definitely it was a learning year. We learned a lot of things. I think we've forgotten some stuff about what we do, and I think we're going to incorporate a lot of what we learned this year back into next year. And just making sure people aren't just here for the big shit show party, and they're actually out exploring, picking up trash, and like celebrating the essence of what it is, and we don't get caught up in like the festival part of things.
Yeah, and that's a balance with everything. I mean, idiots can ruin anything, and
I feel attacked right now.
I mean, I guess that's on you. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like, we didn't do any of this on purpose. Like, that's
no, yeah, I get it. So like, just to back up a little bit, I know there's going to be people that watch this that don't know what the Gambler 500 even is.
Yeah.
So, just a quick, give a synopsis of what is the Gambler 500.
Okay. What is the Gambler 500? Gambler 500 was me and another buddy who just had like a kid, dumb corporate jobs, 9 to 5s. Needed an outlet, like an excuse to go in the woods. We used to go camping, just buddies, slugging whiskey and, shooting stuff. And then we're like, hey, why don't we go buy $500 cars and drive them around Portland. That was the first idea. And then I was like, why don't we take them over the mountains and go out into the desert? Because Oregon's very varied. There's an ocean, there's a valley, the I-5 corridor with like Portland and Eugene and Salem, and what everybody thinks about Oregon is this wet place with a bunch of protesters. And then there's this giant mountain, and 3/4 of the state is high desert, cattle country, and just friggin' no man's land. And some of those beautiful places in the world, the Owahis and the Alvord Desert, and Steens all the way up to Joseph and the Eagle Caps and Hell's Canyon, and just really cool country. And so we wanted an excuse to go over there, have a fun time. So we all bought $500 cars. There was 13 of us. We weren't like marketing it, or we were fine with our numbers. And then we accidentally made a viral video that got seen like 50 million times. And it was all like just cell phone videos that our buddy who worked for a clothing company shared on their website. And then we got a cavalcade of interest, like it was 50 million times, and probably got like 10,000 requests to come do it. And I was like, at first I said no, and I shut everything down. And then a bunch of fake websites came in and it's like, we're the Gambler 500. I'm like, you are not the Gambler 500. And so then I made a real thing, and then I said, yeah, sure, why don't you guys just show up? But I did it in the punk rock way we used to do it, was just like, hey guys, show up at this address. I'll hand you a sheet with the waypoints on it, and then we'll bail. And then we'll go have this fun adventure. And then that's when that was 2017, I want to say. So that's when like Jesse Combs came out. Mm-hmm. And we built the Miata for her because she was an idol of mine, and it ultimately became a really good friend. We ended up hanging out and having all sorts of fun adventures after that. And then Fred Williams from Dirt Every Day came out because he was just like this cool punk rock underground thing.
In the van.
Yeah, in the van. Yeah, in the 70s van. And he's a buddy. They filmed an episode right here at my shop like a couple months ago, right before COVID, but then COVID hit and they couldn't finish the season. So that's my choppy. That's my secret, is my choppy was built by Fred.
Awesome.
And Dave. I should say built by Dave, commissioned really by Fred. And I held the flashlight for him.
That counts.
So I thought 250 cars would show up, right? Like 32 cars, 250 is a huge leap. Well, fuck if 850 cars didn't show up, and like 2,000 people. And I called. We had the wherewithal to call this ski resort, a mountain. I rented a mountain for we charged people $20 to camp. I was like, 2,000 people. Well, no, what would have been 500 people, $2,000. I can pay for the camp, and I can pay for the toilets and all that stuff. And then 3 times as many people showed up. And I was like, oh shit, like this is a real thing. So we paid the bands more, and we paid for all the trash cleanup. We were doing trash cleanup at that point still. And then every year we're just like, shit, this is a good thing. And the travel bureau got involved, and some of the Klamath County, which is down south central Oregon, got involved. And I mean, shit, it's like they see a bump, like $1.5 million in extra revenue over the weekend. They have 6,000 people come in, stay there for 4 days, and so it's this motorsport car event in Oregon, and they love it. We love it. It's still just me. I mean, it's just so it doesn't.
But I mean, so it's brought you to. I mean, you've been on Jay Leno's show, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I met Jay Leno. Yeah, he's cool. He was hungover, I think, when I was there. We sat in that damn car for like 4 hours, and I didn't know enough about vintage Bugattis to really hold his interest.
Yeah, I'm sure he likes being on the road more than the dirt.
Yeah, he was a terrible driver, like horrible. Like it seemed like he just stuck to the middle. He didn't know how to pick a line off road. He didn't know how to. I mean, I'm sure maybe he was doing it for the camera. And obviously he's got more knowledge and class and coolness in his pinky than I will ever have. And I really enjoyed the time being there with him. But yeah, he didn't have any interest in the shitty old Explorer expedition they brought out.
Yeah. I see him in like one of the air cooled 911s bouncing that thing off road.
Yeah, because we've got a lot of air-cooled Porsches that do come out and hang out with us. And the thing is like it's a gambler because you just bought an expensive car and are beating the shit out of it. So you just beat the shit out of a $50,000 car. That's a lot. You lost a lot more than I did by beating the shit out of my $400 car. So
absolutely.
Bring
How much fun was had? similar fun, probably.
Yeah. Anybody, it's like that's the problem with Facebook these days. It's like people just get angry about like other people having a good time, and we don't allow any of that sort of culture in. We don't allow politics in. It's only about getting out there, having fun, doing good for the outdoors, and just building like a family. Like you can show up to any gambler event, and 95% of the people, you're instantly like can relate to. They're your buddies. You're out there, they'll help you, put your car back together, or at least give you a ride to town.
Yeah. I mean, that happened this weekend on Chop Top, and any kind of event like that where you bring crappy cars and you're doing something that is going to be a pain in the butt, it's going to be sometimes stressful. You get a bunch of car guys together that have that frame of mind. I mean, we met these guys randomly at a gas station that were part of the Chop Top also. And within 30 seconds, we were filming them eating a huge bug off the grill of their Jag with no roof on it.
But
and then
it's disarming, right? Because there's no ego involved. Like you're not the biggest, the fastest razor or the tallest truck or the biggest fucking rims. Like nobody gives a shit. Like you came with a piece of garbage, and there's no egos involved, and we don't have to like have these like we don't have to like strut around like roosters.
No. These dudes had a Jag with a tail that wagged with a wiper motor.
Yeah.
And the horn made Jag sounds. Like, how tough was that?
That is pretty, like, then to put that much effort into something stupid. I mean, like, that doesn't even sound, like, I would never put that much effort into something that doesn't sound that funny, but it's funny because it's ironic that grown-ass people would do that. Yeah. That's what's funny about that.
And then, I ended up chasing an AMG Mercedes S55, no roof, no glass, through the woods in the upper peninsula of Michigan. And I talked to him for a while. He's a cool dude. He's like, he works for Grid Life.
Oh shit, dude! Well, we love Grid Life. We've got some ties to Grid Life. Like they're good people. There used to be unifying there with Chop Top and Grid Life and Gambler and Dang Bros and.
Yeah. And so he was like, yeah, I spent they pay like $3 or $4 grand for this thing and cut the roof up.
Wait, was Dave from Rally Ready wasn't with him, was he? Dave, I think Dave, who owns Rally Ready's rally school in Texas, was planning on doing a choppy and okay. I that's all I know about that. So,
maybe the Key West one was the big event. Like there was the choppy's always relatively small because I don't think Jason wants to babysit a bunch of guys for 4,000 miles.
No. Once it becomes a job, it's a job. Yeah. So that was my transition was it's my job now, but like I've created a bunch of other jobs, that go along with it. I don't try to squeeze all the blood out of the Gambler stone. I just try to use Gambler to promote in my other small businesses that will hopefully, make a living someday. So, but, you can't, people will be the judge, jury, and executioners. If you screw something up, they'll fucking tell you.
Yeah.
Can we swear on your podcast?
Absolutely.
Fuck.
Here we are. Yep.
You got a Jeep over there on I'm trying to figure out what it is on your leather-bound books.
My fine leather-bound books.
Is it a Defender or a Jeep? It's a Defender, isn't it?
It's a Defender.
Yeah.
Is that a Traxxas?
No, it's the cheap Chinese knockoff of the Traxxas.
Wait, did you buy it from that one that it was cost like $5 off the internet?
This was like $70. The Traxxas one I was going to get, but it was a bit expensive for me at the time.
Well, especially if it's going to sit on your shelf.
Yeah, exactly.
How does it run?
It's electric and it's pretty good. It's a rock crawler.
Yeah, no, I didn't buy it, but I have the Traxxas one of those.
Yeah, they're
like
gorgeous.
I'd like to see what the additional $400 gets you.
Probably quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Traxxas are pretty badass.
It seems they are badass, and like for an RC dork, I'm sure it's worth it. I don't know. I have good intentions about playing with my RC cars more than I do, and then it's never happens.
Yeah. I have an expensive Traxxas that collects dust.
Which one?
It was the Ken Block Ford Fiesta.
Oh, a little drifty dude.
Yeah. It does like 45 miles an hour. Pretty sweet.
It's
I don't have
quick.
any. Sorry, the beats.
I just don't have a good place to, like, I want a crawler, but I'd have to, like, I mean, I live 2.5 miles from downtown Louisville.
Yeah,
so,
but you build little backyard or like indoor tracks. That's where I see the best ones. I don't know.
yeah, that's true. I could use it at school, I guess.
I think it's more exciting to crawl your drift car than because that's
Yeah.
we were out
it gets-
hooning. I got some trails down there. We were out hooning the Corolla today. Leatherman came over and they wanted to do some social media, and so we took the Corolla and beat the shit out of it. So look on their social media for that.
Didn't the donut guys, they came and like borrowed a Corolla from somebody?
Pump rate. Well, I bought those 4 Corollas for this team out of Canada. They said they want to do a team building exercise, big money construction outfit. Paid me to go find 4 identical cars, and they wanted Pontiac Sunfires. And I was like, that's a terrible idea, unless you guys really like punishment and don't want to finish. And so I said, how about we get you some Corollas? So I went and found 4 Corollas, and I'm like prepped and ready. They flew in, painted them, and then welded on skid plates, and then they rode them, and all 4 of them finished. I don't know if you saw the video of like 4 Corollas going through like rocks and bumping each other to like get out of the rocks, and it was amazing. And then we had one of those left over, and then the donut guys came in. We met them at SEMA, and they said they want to come do it. So we saved them a Corolla, and they came down, and I gave them the shittiest one, and it's still finished, man. Yeah, choppy. So
That was a great. It's been a while since I watched that episode, but it was a great episode.
They're dope, and they've really found their stride, and even with this COVID stuff, they're doing great. James was on the same Leno episode as me, so like as we're sitting there watching the premiere, James texts me. He's like, "We're on the same episode," and I was like, "Shit!" I was like, doubly cool now that like another like really he is the incoming Clarkson Leno. He will be in that whole category. He doesn't reply to a lot of my texts anymore, so
He's too cool now.
Cool.
Well, he had a fucking heart attack.
For real?
He's a random fact. He's from Louisville, also.
Yeah. That's the Pump Through 502, right?
Yeah.
That's why I asked him why it was a 502, and because we have in high school we had a club called the 502. It was the Drinkers 420. None of us partook in the herbal stuff, so we made our own. It was called the 502.
Yep. That makes sense.
So what do you reckon is the best car to do the gambler in? Obviously I've seen the range of cars and it's huge.
Yeah.
But there's got to be something that's consistently.
Well, I mean, P71 comes into play right there. I mean, right off the bat, I've had one. It was okay. I am more of a JDM bro than a domestic guy. So ultimately, I've always said it's an excuse to buy the dumb car you couldn't ever justify, right? Even yourself, much less your wife, right? If you always wanted a Fiero, right? Fucking stupid car to ever want to own, but it's a great car to still open the gambler in. An MR2, which I always actually call Fieros. I always call MR2s Fieros just to piss everybody off. But so it's Miatas are great. I mean, that's a car that us burly, facial haired men aren't supposed to like. But
I'm 6'3", 220, and I drove a Miata 800 miles in 2 days.
Yeah,
the Tennessee Gambler.
Oh, we are similar builds, and I've got.
And I love a good Miata.
The Jesse Combs Miata up there, which just got a fresh power plant. So, but I would say Corolla. Like Corolla is the unassuming car. You show up to any event with big tires, immediately like you're kind of okay, you did a big tire. You show up in a Corolla with stock tires on it, maybe saggy rear springs, and you went through the same thing that the Nick on 31s and that the Wrangler or the Nova on 40s or my Cruiser on 49s went through, which is that thing's a whole another mess. But the Corolla is you look the coolest, and secretly it is a very capable car.
Yeah,
it's
one of my favorite cars that showed up to one of the Tennessee events was a 97 Camry, stock rear tires, stock suspension, and they just cut the shit out of the fenders and put 27s or 30s on the front.
Yeah.
That thing was just in low gear, off the rev limiter the whole weekend, and it went everywhere. I mean, that guy was chasing like XJ Jeeps uphill.
I was literally chatting with Mason Dixon, who runs the Tennessee Gambler, all of 30 minutes ago.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, good dude. Big event. Like, they're having.
I didn't make it to the last one, but the first one he did there was incredible. Great trails, and it's really just some beautiful countryside there.
I need to get over there. I don't see enough. I've been to the California gamblers, and we have like 8 in Oregon now that I don't even organize. We allow people to use the name and the logo as long as they're not trying to capitalize on it. And that's just to kind of keep, it's obviously we want to own the brand and we benefit from it, but being the largest motorsport by participation in the world, where there's, we're still keeping it pretty dang punk rock. Just
and you got to keep the brand consistent. That's a great way to keep the brand consistent, is if you make it easy for the other people that want to run it, so they're not making new shit up.
Dude, we won't micromanage nobody, because I don't know what you guys deal with over, if it's Minnesota, Kentucky, or freaking Tennessee. There's so many, the local infrastructure in the public land scenario. I could never do that. It would never be worth, the money or the time to try to make that happen. So local people just want to have fun and go do something cool. Maybe you have to rent, the off-road park to make it happen. Then cool, as long as it's, people will tell you if you're charging too much, usually $20-$40 for a weekend if you got to camp and do all that shit. And that's a cheap weekend, man.
Yeah, well, me and Jason have talked about doing one in Kentucky. There's a loop called the Kentucky Adventure Tour, and it's like 800 miles of a lot of off-road, double track. There is some single track stuff that we would obviously try and do, but that's the variable, right? Like as off-road bros, we were always so consumed with making all of our vehicles better, but then you run out of places to take it and run out of buddies to go with. Yeah. And so if you then reverse that model and start taking worse things, those roads that are accessible to you in the public become challenging, and really it tunes into the whole reason why we do this, And absolutely,
it's not about chest thumping, and my daughter is trained to point at shiny trucks on big tires. It's like, why are you trying to look like an off-road bro, but you obviously don't go off-road? Like, what are we really doing here?
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's 12. She drove part of the Rubicon as a 12-year-old. It was amazing.
So what's next? What's the next steps for the Gambler 500? Or I saw, I've been following Hooptie Cross, Unpaved.
Yeah.
That's pretty fresh, isn't it?
Yeah, so the reason we had to bump this back is I had to talk to our app developer with Unpaved. We want to be, we want to push that app from the concept of, let's make, if you're going to go do off-roady things, let's not make this be about, cars and coffee and bolting shit to your truck. That's not what's cool. Let's go and actually go off-road, and then let's be able to share that with people, either through pictures or actually be able to track you and give you a score for the amount of off-road you took. And so that's where that's at. Unpaved is, now I got to focus my attention on that. But Sons of Smoky is that's our 501c3. So that's where we are focusing on picking up the trail trash and trying to be the ambassadors for motorsports to the bird watchers and the hunters and the backpackers and the hikers and all the people who use outdoors, and be like, hey guys, like let's all kind of get together and make sure that we're protecting public lands, keeping them clean, making sure, we're not shredding them and destroying them, and then worry about how we're going to use them. Because ultimately, all of those different, like the Patagonia Sierra Club people hate motorsports. That's not right, because there's 70% of the people who aren't even out there using it. Those are the people who you should be worried about, because they're not passing laws to fund, the Forest Service and the Bureau of Land Management and the DNR, who are ultimately our best allies. So that's where people get too concerned with infighting within the outdoor industry to not focus on the people who are just apathetic to it.
Right.
So that's people get involved.
Like picking up trash.
Yeah.
We're making whiskey, so trying to actually need to get some of that whiskey out to Kentucky. Speaking of Kentucky, we need to get. We're in like only 4 or 5 states right now, but we just wanted to make something that was, I like whiskey, so this whole, why do all this? You can't do something you always wanted to do. It's ultimately a vanity project, though. I don't make any money off it.
Yeah. Does a company? I guess a company in Oregon makes it there for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's 100% Gambler owned. I own the whiskey brand 100%. But then we have some partners with 503 Distilling, and so we make the whiskey, we distill it down there. We're making white whiskey, and then we're buying some aged whiskey, and we're blending it all together to kind of make our own. What's up, buddy? No, it's your job.
Whiskey, off-road app, Jay Leno. You've been on a few Hoonigan videos too.
Oh, shit. Those guys are great.
Yeah, let's not discount those dudes.
Oh, Zach! I was just texting Zach earlier. I sent him a video of the Zach from Hoonigan. I think he is the most. I don't know, the most charming of the whole bunch. And he's hilarious. And he kind of helped us launch Hooptie Cross with one of his videos. I keep promising that he can drive the Miata, and then I blue ball him and don't let it by breaking it or something. They're great. Brian Scotto, I look up to that company, Scotto and Block and all those guys and what they built with Hoonigan, and kind of invented really that whole genre. Mm-hmm. Of motorsports brands, in whatever this is, the 21st century. So they're great. Zach came to Iceland with us. So I rode mini bikes, and that wasn't even a Hoonigan video. He just came up, rode mini bikes through Iceland for 4 days straight, and just hung out. And that I think it was fun. Oh fuck, yeah, that's life in there. Eating lamb at 2 a.m. that you just cooked over fire with a bunch of Vikings. And drinking some horrible, licorice flavored, liquor. And, not just eating lamb, but passing the whole leg around. And everyone's just chewing on lamb leg. And, oh, man. It's not very COVID friendly at this point.
No, I was going to say, that must have been way pre-COVID.
Yeah, we can't for 2020. It doesn't. I know, and that's the thing. But we just want to inspire you people to go do fun stuff. You don't have to rely on us to organize it. Hey man, why don't you guys go grab mini bikes and do something stupid, or grab lawnmowers or grab Corollas or go, cut the freaking tops off them, cut the bottoms off. You have to run with the car top.
Flintstone style. Yeah. So that's what in our YouTube channel, that's what we're trying to, portray is you can have fun with
nothing.
Basically nothing. We bought 3 taxis. We got these cop cars we have spent their last few years being taxis, and they all have 300,000 miles. Yeah. But we only paid $300.
That's miles. That's not hours.
I try not to look at the hours.
We got some hours. Well, I don't know how you get that out there, but yeah, it's cop cars and taxis. Holy hot hell. Those things been idling for.
But man, they run sweet. They all have cold AC, and they were $300.
Yeah,
and
I still like an LS 400 or maybe an SC 400. That's the JDM 71. I would say the JDM Camaro. The SC 400, I got 2 of them. Those are my JDM Camaros.
I bet they weren't $300.
Yeah.
Well, no, man, I bought them for $1,600. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's not bad. But
for and they'd already been gambled, which was funny to see people's reaction when I went to go buy them off Craigslist, and they're like, "Wait a second, aren't you the guy who puts on the gambler?" I was like, "Yeah, I want your car. Give it to me." I'm not good. I'm not really great at building things. I'm done with that. I just want to. I'll buy other people's projects at this point, because they're not getting shit for them anyways. They got way too much blood, sweat, and tears in them, and everything I build falls to hell anyways.
Right. I just acquired a Volvo 940, doing some work for a guy. I basically had $500 in it. Sold it to Jason with the chop top, and it's getting the snip.
Yeah. Which is my question about unibodies and the chop top.
We just try not to question that too
much. 71, I'm fine with. It's got a frame, right? But But even I come from the off-road world, and everyone was always snipping XJs, and we're like cringe. It's like, dude, that you can't do that with unibody. And then there's just choppies,
everything,
just running, and they're all.
So we have in our Monte Carlo, we have like a little bar that goes from B pillar to B pillar.
Yep, I saw that. That was a cool, little.
It's not. It's just more metal to stick in your head when you roll over. What are you talking about?
Multiplier, yeah.
And it made it drive a little bit better, but it's still not going to stop the A pillars touching the B pillars when you smash into something.
You don't have any A pillars.
Well, where they were. I just imagine where they were, and they're gonna.
Yeah, your head. Yeah, no, it's. Which is, I think it's good to keep. It's not an if but when. It's good that the choppy stays small for that reason in particular.
Yeah.
I mean, and Jason, we were doing 45 and 50 miles an hour through the forest in that thing.
Yeah.
800 miles from home.
Yeah. I love the idea, and I think it adds, because driving on the road, you're like, we need to add some sort of challenge to it, right? We do off road, so that's, in a Corolla, that's where the fun comes in. But in a choppy, you're doing it on the highway, and so like, where's the challenge in this? And dude, you hit 35, 40 miles an hour without a windshield, then you are.
So
when we're on the interstate, long interstates, we wear helmets.
Yeah,
and that helps a lot.
Yeah,
because when you're doing 60 miles an hour in a car with no windshield, it's hard to breathe.
We did, yeah. My daughter and I, we live in the county, so yeah, we take our choppy, we take the F-250 out we don't have helmets, but it's got full cage. It's tied in. It's got or frame stuff. But yeah, it is hard to breathe. But that's kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know. Helmets is fun. You kind of got to talk a lot. What you need are some radios, some.
Yeah, a lot of people use the intercoms, like motorcycle intercoms.
Yeah.
We didn't plan that far that good, so we were just like hand signals and yelling, and
we didn't plan that good.
That's everything in life, though, I think.
Wait, so what's next for you guys?
Yeah, we're just kind of plugging away at this cheap car challenge thing we're doing. At this point,
I saw you guys' hashtag, but can you explain to me what it is?
So basically, we kind of fell into these cars, and total between three of us, we bought 4 of them, and we just figured that it'd be a good time to get the cars together and pretend we're buying somebody's first car, and basically we've given each other $1,000 to spend total. So we got $300 in the car. Anything that's left over, we're gonna throw at the car and see what.
Wait, you guys are doing this for the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, send me the links. I love sharing. I love sharing. Anybody's doing anything cool, whether it's lemons or choppy toppy or any of that stuff, we will always be big proponents of any just cool cheap shit. So.
Well, that ended kind of abruptly due to our free trial of the Zoom app. I'd just like to thank Tate for being so cool and telling some stories and hanging out with us for a little bit. Hope you liked it. Please go check out the Cheap Car Challenge videos on our channel, and check out the podcast on iTunes and wherever else you can find podcasts. Thanks. See you soon.